Can you hear me now? How about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, bet. Hey, hey, Julius. Okay, my bad. I don't know what happened. I think I had it on mute. All right. So when you say Canelo stopped the 175-pound fighter, you referring to Sergey Kovalev? I'm assuming. Just making sure we on the same page. And I appreciate you leaving like a legit comment rather than like because people saying some crazy stuff. Like people getting emotional. They making this a black versus Mexican thing, and I don't think it's that at all. It's a good fight, and people gonna be on two sides of the coin. But I just want to have a healthy debate about the fight. So, Julius, if you're referring to Sergey Kovalev, I'll weigh in on that. But also, like what you saying, Bud cashing out. So I look at it as Bud is the ultimate competitor. Like Bud does not want to lose his fight. He's not looking at this. It's like, I mean, yeah, he's gonna get paid, but Canelo's gonna get paid more than Bud. And I think Bud definitely cares about his legacy. I mean, if you just look at the lifestyle he lives, he's not flashy like a lot of other guys are. And since the beginning of his career, he's always worked hard. And yeah, granted, he could have took another fight at 154, but I think this is Bud showing that he wants to be great. He wants to be considered one of the greatest of all time. And if we're referring to Canelo stopping Kovalev, that was, yeah, he stopped him at 175. Kovalev had drinking problems. He had a lot of stuff going on outside of boxing. Bud is somebody that's, it's Kovalev is bigger than Bud, but boxing is about more than just size. It's about skill. Kovalev never had as much skill as Terence Crawford, and I definitely doubt that Canelo is going to knock Crawford out. I mean, it's a possibility, and I've said this in previous videos that up until maybe a month ago, I had Canelo due to the size difference, and I don't know if it's like the more stuff I'm watching with Bud, watching like fights and stuff, like, but off now, as far as the odds are concerned, I think the odds are fair with Canelo, Canelo minus 200, and Bud was like plus one something. So I think that like it's close to 50-50, but I do think Canelo should be the favorite in this fight. You don't think Canelo walked through Bud? Triple G couldn't even hurt him. I mean, I don't think Bud has to hurt Canelo to beat him. Did Floyd Mayweather hurt Canelo? Did Canelo look hurt against Bivol when he lost to them? I don't think he looked hurt against them. You got to outpoint him. Do I think I hear people saying they think Bud gonna knock him out, which would be crazy. I don't think Bud is going to knock him out, but that would be a statement. Initially, I thought Bud was gonna move around, kind of fight him similar to Lara, but Bud's not that type of fighter. He's going if you engage with him, Bud's gonna throw back. And my concern is like in those exchanges, like I have to see how Bud is going to take that power from Canelo. Like I'm realistic. I don't think that Bud's great going here and just beat Canelo down. I think Canelo is, I mean, greatest Mexican fighter of all time, at least one of them. I know that's debatable, but when I say, Bud is going to beat Canelo, people then come and criticize Bud and say all this like, it's a black thing, it's a Mexican thing. No, I think it's a good fight, and people are on each side. Bud extra weight gonna slow him down. He looks slower at 154. And that's fair. So that's something I'll hit that like button if you're in the chat. Yeah, that's something that I'm curious to see also, Julius, like in the later rounds of the fight, how are Bud's legs going to hold up? Now, what I'm banking on, and I could be wrong, is that Bud hasn't fought in over a year. And he mentioned this, he took the time to put the weight on to see how he felt at the weight and to kind of get comfortable at that weight. So I'm thinking that's going to play a role in the strength and conditioning. But again, we're going to have to see, because going from 154, one fight at 154, all the way up to 168 against Canelo Alvarez is going to be a different ball game. Now I will admit, seeing Canelo and Boots sparring did make me, just because Stephen Fulton had said something about it a couple of months ago, I think on X or Twitter or whatever, and it was no confirmation. So I'm like, okay, but for them to confirm it, that's showing me that Canelo is gonna be moving this fight. Because I'm like, all right, Canelo might be slowing down based on his last performances, but I think he's laying it all on the line in his camp. And then, like, I'm going for Bud, but if Canelo wins, I'm not going to be upset. I mean, it's a great fight. I just hope it's extremely competitive. I hope we don't get something that's like the Bud and Spence fight, and then I'll actually be at the fight. So for me, I want to see an all-time great fight. That's what I'm looking to see. Now, I'll open this up to kind of have conversations leading up to the fight. And I like what Julius is saying. Like, he's giving valid reasons for why he thinks Canelo is going to be Bud. And everything he's saying is valid. Like, I'm not unrealistic here at all. I think a lot of people unrealistic. And if anybody, like, I don't see neither guy getting knocked out. But if somebody was going to get knocked out, I don't think it would be Canelo, just due to his size and due to, Canelo's he's been rocked one time earlier in his career. It was a guy, his last name was Cotto. Some people say it was Miguel Cotto's cousin or something like that. I don't know if that's true, but that you can find it on YouTube. It was very, very early on in his career. Outside of that, I've never seen Canelo rocked at all. But to that point, like, Bud doesn't have to hurt Canelo to win the fight. He has to hit Canelo with something that's respectable. And I don't think that Canelo can just walk through Bud. I just don't see that happening, because, as Bud said, the punches that hurt are going to be the ones that you don't see coming. And for people in here that have boxed before, if you've boxed before and you spar or even in a fight, there are guys that may not hit hard, but if they catch you at the right time, then you're going to feel it, and it's going to make you think. Now, as far as, I got a question for you all. So as far as like legacy goes, whose legacy does this impact more if they lose? Does it impact Canelo's legacy more or Bud's legacy more if they lose this fight? Because somebody told me that it would hurt Bud Crawford more if he lost this fight. Now it's my first time hearing that, because you got the smaller guy coming up. So I would think that it would be like, when Roberto Duran moved up to fight Marvin Hagler, it didn't hurt Roberto Duran's career. Okay, Lil Mikey. So Lil Mikey 224. Who is Lil Mikey? I know who is that? And why do you say it will hurt Bud more than Canelo legacy wise? I'm curious about that, because I would think if Canelo is Bud's going up to his weight, there's no rehydration clause. If Canelo loses to the smaller fighter, like, what? Oh, what's good, Noop? I ain't recognize your name at first. Okay, what up, Noop? So why do you think it hurts Bud legacy more than Canelo? Because Bud fought a War Spence. What about Bud? What about Bud other fights? What about Sean Porter, Israel Madrimov, which people say he barely beat him? Like, I mean, he beat him. It's just like, now what? Now, and I I know people are gonna say, Canelo's resume is better than Bud's. That's true. Canelo's resume is better than Terence Crawford's resume, but now they got to meet in the ring. Bud fought who was in front of him, he fought who the champions were. So he went like he ducked anybody. Porter was about to retire. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like every time Bud win, it's like FX coaching. What's up, bro? What's happening? It's like every time Bud wins, it's like, but this, but that. I mean, he fought the guys, he fought everybody at 147. He was chasing these guys down. And I think it'll look bad with Canelo ducking David Benavidez and then losing to Terence Crawford. Canelo seems like he felt that people consider this a close fight. Yeah, Julius, he does. Yeah. It's like Canelo kind of like, man, y'all forgot who I was. y'all forgot who I was, because Canelo for a while didn't even think that this fight would be a thing because Bud moving up. And that could be, Canelo could be definitely coming to prove something for sure. Moon Man, what's up, bro? If Bud trades shots in the inside like he liked to his game over, man, I doubt he can take a beating to the body. He has to be on his movement. Yeah, Moon Man, I agree. But I think it's going to come a time in a fight where he has to get some respect, like exchange, use angles, and then, move around. Because I don't think he can move around the entire fight and beat Canelo like that, especially not in Vegas. Absolutely not in Vegas. But I think Bud is going to shock a lot of us and do a little more exchanging than we think. And that could be me just hoping to see some action. I just hope it's some action, but you're absolutely right. He can't stand the inside with Canelo. That would not be a good idea. You didn't like the skipping around 147. Who you talking about? Danny Garcia? Keith Thurman. Bro, Terence Crawford was trying to fight Pac-Man at 135. Bob Arum came out publicly and said he kept Pac-Man away from Terence Crawford. And he didn't fight Ugas because Ugas lost to Spence. And Bud then fought Spence after he beat Ugas. Bud was going after the belts. He was undisputed at 147. And Danny Garcia, bro, stop. Stop it. FX coaching Bud is going to win 100%. Tell me why. Hit that like button if you're in the chat. Ray Garcia, it hurts Canelo legacy more. Okay. Tell me why, Ray. I think it hurts Canelo's legacy more as well because you got the smaller guy moving up to Canelo's weight. They're fighting in Vegas. It's like all the odds are stacked against Bud. Like for me, it's like whoever loses, I'm going to still look at them the same. But I know how the public is going to, whoever loses, the public is going to crucify them. And that's just how really the world works right now. Like if Bud loses, people aren't going to be like, well, he was daring to be great. They're going to act like he has like 15 losses. If Canelo loses, they're going to be like, he's not the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, even though he's fighting arguably the top 2 pound for pound guy in boxing right now. Danny beat him in amateurs, bro. Sean Porter beat Alexander Usyk in amateurs. Amateurs amateurs, you got headgear, you got bigger gloves. This is a different ball game. Bud has better ring IQ. Yeah, I agree, FX coaching. You don't like Bud. Who you like? You big on Spence? Because I'm a huge Spence fan. And this stuff you saying about Bud, you must you must be an Errol Spence fan, bro. Adam, Canelo has had 2 tests in his career, Mayweather and Bivol. Let's see how he does in this one. I think I think Erislandy Lara was a good test for him. Triple G, I honestly think Triple G beat him the first fight, and Austin Trout was a good test for him as well. But recently, I mean, Canelo hasn't been tested. He's just been coasting. Hit that like button if you in here. Moon Man, I really like Bud, but not in this fight. It's just too much weight. I just watched Bivol versus Canelo. I know he lost, but Bivol was feeling that power. He was moving crazy Soviet style. Yeah, Moon Man, I rewatched that fight last week. That was like my 3rd time watching it, but you seen Bivol feeling it on his arms, like from Canelo just hitting the arms, and that's what he does. It's like, all right, you can block, but I'm gonna hit right here, hit elbows and everything. So you even see the coach in the corner icing his arms and his elbows. Hit that like button if you in the chat. Julius Madrimov was connected too much for my liking. If Canelo lands half as often as Bud going down or going on his bike like Skull. Julius, come on, bro. You know Bud not about to be in there like William Skull. That was ridiculous. Come on, bro. Bud not even that type of fighter. He not about to be on his bike like Skull. That was crazy. Jason, what's up, bro? Peace. I think how either man loses determines the narrative. KO loss obliterates the loser's legacy. Yeah, I can see that. I think also how, if it is a KO, how the KO happens. Like if it's a late KO, then it could depend on how the fight went. Like if it was a close fight and then somebody get clipped late, then I think that's different. But if it's like early, like 4th, 5th round, like bro, I'm gonna be so heated. I'm going to be so mad. He's a bigger fighter. He can lose to a small fighter. Ray, you saying he can't lose to a smaller fighter? Oh, you saying something else? Yeah, Ray. I think Bud needs to win on points, but man, some telling me that Bud ready to come out and try to make Canelo feel some power. Like I think Bud Gray try to go out with a bang. Canelo has an advantage because he's going to be a bigger fighter. He knows how to last longer at that weight. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I don't know. Like when this fight gets late, I do not know how Bud's legs are gonna hold up. Hey, Julius, but Bud and Turkey boys. I know you saw Canelo at the press conference. Canelo at the press conference when he said your uncle Turkey told you to hype the fight up. So I think Turkey would be on Bud's side if anything. What's Canelo's best path to beating Bud? Outboxing him or stopping him? That's a good question, FX Coaching. For the people picking Canelo, what's the best path for him to beat Bud? Yeah, Jason Williams, that's a good point. And I think he's going to really be on point for this fight. And I think the sparring with Ennis, I'm glad that they posted that. I'm glad that went up when it did because Bud is like the ultimate competitor. Like he's going to see that and it's going to fire him up even more if that's even possible. And it's like, okay, Boots was calling out Bud for all these years. And then you sparring who Bud fight next. So Bud gonna look at it like, all right, I'm about to get in there like Bernie the boxer, Bud Boys just said today, like we about to whoop both of y'all. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That would be epic. I also see Bud is faster than Canelo with more height, longer reach, and definite power. Yeah, I agree. FX coaching. And then if you look at, I'm actually watching now the vlogs that they doing on Terrence Crawford's channel. Like Terrence Crawford already lean. He's not great coming to the fight, bulky. That's the fight. That's the mistake that um Jamel Charlo made, gaining all that weight, and then he coming in bulky and can't move. Jason Williams. So he said Canelo beats Bud by wearing Bud down with constant pressure behind the high guard. He has to get Bud to the ropes. Yeah. That I can see. Yeah, that could be a passive victory for Canelo. Canelo can win the fight by decision too. He don't have to knock Bud out. Like when I say Terrence Crawford is gonna beat Canelo, I'm not dissing Canelo at all. Canelo is the truth. I like Canelo. I like Bud. I hate to say this, but Canelo has that advantage in Vegas. He's going to have to box him or knock him out. But no matter where he's at, yeah, Ray, that's the thing. It's in Vegas. They release who the judges are. I gotta see how many fights these judges have judged, if any, of Canelo and Bud. I'll be looking at that. I'll do a separate video on that, like a breakdown, because that's gonna matter. But all I know is, okay, yeah. Yeah, you a Spence fan. Hey, you feel how I felt a couple years ago. It's all good, bro. But back to I think the judges are going to matter because it's hard to beat Canelo in Vegas. When Floyd beat Canelo, one of the judges had that a draw, and Floyd destroyed Canelo. When Bivol beat Canelo, that was a one-sided fight. Every judge had it 115 to 113 on all three scorecards. Now, you all know how jacked up the scoring in boxing is. For all three judges to have it 115 and 113 is crazy. And Canelo was like a 6-1 favorite against Bivol. And he was fighting Bivol at 175. Bivol was the champ. And Bivol was being treated like he was the B-side. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it has to hurt Canelo's legacy more if he loses to Crawford. Everything, all the odds are stacked against Crawford here. Yeah, Julius. Hey, and Floyd, my favorite fighter, bro. Floyd, my favorite fighter. But if Bud beat Canelo, Bud is number one. And man, don't tell nobody I said that, y'all. I can't believe I just said that. Because Floyd, that's my favorite fighter. You said Canelo has 4 to 5 rounds. Yeah, before the fight even start, it's like the scorecards, first 4 rounds, judges like already got it filled out. I want to see the judges' scorecards before the fight even start. Let me see it. Oh, is it Jason? That's one of the judges? Yeah, man, that's... Canelo knows how to counter, but... Yeah, I mean, and I can say the same. We can say the same thing for Bud. Bud's a great counter puncher. I think Bud's going to have to definitely work the body for sure early. We know Canelo going to work the body. We know that hook is going to be going down low for sure. If he didn't think he wouldn't take the FX coaching, I like that comment right there. Because this is what I've been wrestling with here. Bud isn't stupid. If he didn't think he could beat Canelo, he wouldn't take the fight. I believe Bud definitely sees something that we don't. And Bud has been saying for like the past year and a half to 2 years, I see something. And I don't think he's making it up. What he sees, I don't know. I was at the gym today. I asked the guy who was a former professional boxer, because I work at a boxing gym. I was like, what does Bud see in Canelo? He was like, I don't know. I was like, do you think he really sees something? He was like, yeah. But he was like, I don't know what he sees. And I just can't wait for this fight, because I'm like, what? I want somebody to ask him that, like right before the fight. What do you see in Canelo? Or maybe not right before, but after? Like, what were you seeing all these years? My mind tell me Crawford. Yeah, bro. Bud got a great team behind him. He got a great team. So that's why I really like that. Yeah, Boot sharing a picture of him and Canelo sparring. I love that because it's like, boom, that's just more ammo. That's more ammo. Like, and Terrence Crawford does not know how to lose. I think mentally that means something. Somebody that hasn't lost and that's super competitive. Like, I actually got Bud vlogs on now. I'm watching him play ping pong with Shakur. Like, Bud does not like to lose at anything. So he's definitely not coming to the fight just for a check. He coming to scrap. Bud coming to fight. And I don't think he coming to dance around on the ropes either. I think he coming to fight, and he just got to be smart. I think he definitely has a higher ring IQ. I do think people are underestimating Canelo's defense, though, and his head movement. Canelo hadn't been drug tested, or they just didn't report on it. Yeah, I know. I've been seeing people talk about Bud with the Vada thing and Snack, and hey, Julius, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, bro, no clickbait, bro. And I appreciate you coming in and like giving an actual opinion. Like, that's what boxing is about. Like, we not always gonna be on the same side, but when we can debate it and make sense out of stuff, like Julius, everything you said, bro, I agree with. I 100% agree with. And I also would say I want Bud to win. So it could be like I'm trying to like find ways. Um, but man, I think he gonna pull it off. I think he gonna pull it off, bro. Just think about it. Bud isn't even taking a tune up. He's going straight to Canelo. That's pure confidence. He clearly believes he has the answer. Yeah, FX coaching. So I look at that two ways. So at first I was like, why is Bud going straight up to 168, not taking a tune up? So Bud's 37 right now. He'll be 38 at the end of September. I'm thinking like Bud is trying to save the miles on his legs for this big fight, because most guys we see, like, they take a tune up, but they're also more active as they move up in weight. So Bud took a year off. It's like a year now to feel the weight, get comfortable in the weight, and just leave it all on the line in this fight. And I know Bud works with the top strength and conditioning coaches. Like, his strength and conditioning coach is elite. And I know sometimes, I don't know if he did for this camp, but I know in the past he did do training at the UFC Performance Institute. And you can even see that in his vlog. So his stuff is like science based. So when people say snack and all this, it's like, no, bro, he just is a professional. Even Jamal Charlo said, but did he? When did he say that? I didn't even see Charlo say that. Man, I was so disappointed with the way Jamel came out. I didn't think Jamel would win, but I thought he would come out and at least fight. I really think Terrence is going to give his all, but it's not going to be enough. The man's been off for 400 days. Yeah, Moon, man, that make a difference. And whew, bro, that make a big difference. But is Bud at a level to where he can be off that time and still be sharp? Or are we going to see ring rust? Is it going to take him a while to get the timing down? Because even though Canelo just fought in May, I really don't consider that a fight. He less punches thrown, I think, ever in a fight. So I don't know if Canelo is going to be sharp. I think the first probably 3 rounds, they probably fill each other out. I don't know, man, because it's a lot on the line here. Somebody might. I think I think the first 3-4 rounds, Bud is going to see what Canelo does. Like, if Canelo try to step, then I think Bud gonna step back. But if Canelo kind of playing it cool, slipping, trying to fill it out. But once the action gets started, I think we ready to be in for fireworks. He a professional on snack. Hey, cut it out. Bro, and then like we talk about like Crawford on snack, but Canelo's the one that failed a drug test for clenbuterol, which I didn't understand. Like going into this fight, like why is everybody talking about Crawford when everybody that trains with Eddie Reynoso pretty much has popped dirty? Yeah, and remember he was calling Spence out for years, and what did he say when they were at, I can't remember what fight, but when Bud had on the hat and the red hoodie, he told Spence, he was like, when I beat you, they gonna make an excuse. He was like, when I beat you, they're going to make an excuse. And then that's what happened. Hey, Moon Man. Hey, no doubt, bro. I appreciate you joining the live and chopping it up. Bro, I just try to just be real. Like, I got fighters that I like, but I'm not biased towards anybody. I just call it like I see it. I love boxing. And then it's a lot of guys I like now. So I don't like Floyd Mayweather was my favorite fighter. Now I just enjoy the sport. Like I competed in the amateurs just so I can learn more about the sport. I'm a boxing coach now and strength and conditioning coach for boxers and MMA fighters. So like I love combat, but boxing is like that's like my number one thing right there. And then hit the like button if you're in the chat. And then also um I also have a membership spot on the channel now. So if you all want to become a member to support the channel, if you all want me to do fight breakdowns, you all know I bet on fights. I post my tickets. I've been doing really well. You can go to my posted section for my big bets. That's gonna be in like the members only section. Um, just because like it's fighters that I know personally here in Tampa, so they fight on like the MVP card or the Pro Box cards. So I'll kind of keep that in the membership part, but still for like basic fights, I'm still gonna be posting them on the channel and things like that. The only real disadvantage for Bud is power, but if you look at his past opponents, many of them were power punchers. Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. Like FX coaching when Bud, every time he fought somebody, especially when he moved up to 147, everybody was like, he's too small. He's too small. Then he ended up being stronger than everybody he fought at 147. Now I will say when he got in there with Madrimov was massive. Madrimov looked bigger than Canelo on fight night. Yeah, I agree, FX coach. And Canelo hasn't. When was the last time Canelo knocked somebody out? Who was the last person Canelo knocked out? Canelo's not knocking people out anymore. Even like when he fought Jermell Charlo, I think Bud is levels ahead of Jermell Charlo. I like Jermell Charlo, but like Canelo not knocking guys out. Who was the last guy he knocked out? It probably was somebody that was a puncher that's standing right in front of him. I don't know. Let me know if you all remember. But has he knocked anybody out in the last 5 years? Caleb Plant. Oh, okay, Caleb Plant was, and yeah, and Bud is a complete different fighter than Caleb Plant. So outside of Caleb Plant, he's fighting big guys that are standing right in front of him, not moving. But Caleb Plant is like he just beat Caleb Plant down, and Caleb Plant does not have the best engine, especially not later in fights. He dropped Berlanga. Yeah, and then look what Hamza Shiraz did to Berlanga. He stopped Berlanga. Like Canelo didn't stop Berlanga, and Berlanga was tailor-made for him with his style. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Caleb Plant got tired. Caleb Plant gas. He in there asking Canelo like, I'm better than you thought I was, or whatever he was saying to Canelo. Like, bro, you had all this build up before the fight, and it was a good fight up until then. But That's one thing. You can't get tired. So that's what I'll be looking at later in the fight. Like rounds, those championship rounds, if we get to that point, how are Bud's legs going to be? And I don't think Bud would have took this fight if he couldn't perform at 168. But I don't know. I could be wrong. It is a lot of money in this fight. Canelo getting tired is a bad part. Yeah, now that's something we talk about. Canelo does slow down later in fights. Canelo does slow down later in fights. Yeah, that's something that not a lot of people are talking about. So if Bud is investing in that body early and Canelo starts to slow down, because we talking about Bud getting tired because of the extra weight gain, but Canelo slows down later in fights. Yeah, okay. Crawford will Canelo. Alex Soto, I don't know what you're saying. Crawford will Canelo. Yeah, send that message again, bro. Ooh, I won't call you crazy for that FX coaching. Hey, if man, it's gonna be crazy. But I'm glad to see we got people on both sides here, on both sides, and we can just talk through this. We can talk through it. We're gonna be just on opposite sides. Now let me know this. Do you all think, because one of the bets I'm putting in is for the fight to go over 10 and a half rounds. Does anybody think this fight does not go the distance? Hit that like button if you're in the chat. Bud catches guys with placement and timing. Perfect. Yes. Yes, Jason Williams. Timing. That timing is a game changer. Timing. When guys get hit with shots that they do not see coming, that's what hurts. It's not going to be that one punch knockout. It's going to be hitting him with shots that he does not see coming. That element of surprise. Yeah, do y'all see the fight going the distance? Or do you all see it going over 10 and a half? Because I am gonna bet over 10 and a half rounds. I'm gonna parlay it. And the actual fight card is good. I'm gonna do like a video on the whole fight card. Who I got with Tio and Shakur. I got Shakur, bro. I hope they make that fight. Shakur on X today, he said he signed his part. He was like, Tio needs to go ahead and sign his part. So he's saying T.O. capping, acting like he signed it, but he didn't. I got Shakur. Who you got in that one? You got fight. Yeah, fight going the distance. That's what I got for this one. I would disagree with the previous comment. If Triple G couldn't, or Bravalo or the Crusher, Canelo has a bull's neck. Bud's best ways to win is a body attack. Yeah, Canelo. Canelo got no neck, guys. When you all see people in boxing that don't have a neck, that mean they got a chin and steel. That mean they got a chin and steel, and Canelo does not have a neck. Canelo has taken hella more punishment in his career, even though he's younger. Canelo's chin been hit by 175 boxers and killers like Triple G. Yeah, and that could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing. Somebody even brought up a good point with the sparring with Boots. That could also be like, obviously it's good because Boots can fight orthodox and southpaw, but also if it was like rough sparring, if Boots got the better of him, they're like that could also hurt Canelo. Like if he got beat up in sparring, which I can't see Canelo getting beat up in sparring, but I mean, we never know. Yeah, you got Shakur. Yeah, I hope they make that fight. That'd be a great fight. Shakur and T.O. at 140. That'd be fire. I know them guys at 140 need to get scrapping. It's too many guys up there with talent with belts, and it's like, bro, let's get a tournament going or something. I can see the fight playing out too many ways, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went to the cards. Now, if it's a stoppage in this fight, do you all think only Canelo will win by stoppage? Woo, Julius, bruh. No. It's crazy because one of my clients just yesterday, and I trained him this morning, but just yesterday he texted me. He thinks Moses Atama will be Usyk. Really, bro? He what 20? Man, they better keep him away from Usyk. He too young, man. That experience. What's gonna happen when he go into the deep waters? What you think he gonna? You think he'll stop Usyk, or how you see that fight going? Or brute force, but low key. Yeah, that Kovalev fight was a dive. Yeah, I bet so big on Canelo for that fight. I'm like, Kovalev had been drinking. He was done with boxing. I think Kovalev just fought a couple months ago. I think so. Somebody checked that. I'm pretty sure he fought a couple months ago. Let me see. I don't know what he doing, but when he fought Canelo, I'm like, that didn't make sense because I'm like a prime. Hold on. A prime Kovalev, that would not be a good fight for Canelo. Kovalev was a monster. Now, Jason, in that first Triple G fight, I think that was a robbery. What was that? A draw? There was no way I saw that fight being a draw. There was no way I saw that first Triple G fight being a draw. And when I saw that one, I knew the second one. I'm like, man, this bet Canelo because the judges are not going to give it to Triple G. That was clear. You know, if Canelo starts to get tired, that could be dangerous for him. I don't really see Terrence knocking Canelo out cold, but a TKO is possible. Bruh, if Bud stopped Canelo, I'm going to go crazy. If Bud stopped Canelo, I'm going to go live from the fight. So y'all will have to hop in the chat. You might not be able to hear me, but I'm going to go live from the fight. I will be going crazy. If Bud keeps countering and punishing him, the referee might have to step in. And woo, FX coaching, man. The referee better not stop this fight. He better only let a stoppage come from the corner. This not the referee better. This not a fight he want to stop because he gonna have some serious problems after the fact he stopped this fight. Yeah, Triple G won the first fight, bro. It's like every time I've watched that fight, I'm like, how? Like, there's no way Canelo won because I try to watch it in mind and be like, okay, let me see how this fight was ruled a draw. And every time I never see how it was ruled a draw. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, bro. That Mabili versus Martinez fight. Whoo! Who you got in that one, Julius? I gotta do some more film study on that. I'm gonna break that down on the channel. Who are your three favorite fighters right now, man, to watch? For me, Benavidez. The Japanese monster. Anyway, yes, sir. And Usyk. Um, man, you got some good ones. Bam Rodriguez, number one. Naiwa Inoue, number two. And yeah, Jason, I'm gonna be there for the fight. I'm gonna be there for the fight, bro. And for the members on my channel, I'm gonna put like some exclusive behind the scenes stuff up in the members only section. Who is my third? I'm trying not. I had to anyway. That's anyway a dog. So we got Bam. Anyway, let me think. Who else? Who else? Oh, I like yeah, Shakur. Yeah, Shakur. Not in any particular order, but those are my three favorite to watch. Man, that's hard to narrow it down to three because I like Gary Russell too. Gary Antoine Russell at 140. But if I had to pick three, we got Bam, Naiwa Inoue, and Shakur. Woo! You got Lester Martinez stopping and Billy, bruh. That fight grade to be cracking. Oh, FX coach. Yeah, I want to see that too. Keyshawn versus Hitchens. That's another guy I like watching a lot. I like Keyshawn Davis a lot. I'm ready to see him get back in the ring at 140, get everything, whatever going on outside the ring, just get everything back in track, man. People, stuff happen in people's lives. I hope he can come back the same and better than he was. And then we also got man, there's some more fights on that card. Let me pull it up. Let's pull up that card. Cause Steven Nelson fighting too. I like Steven Nelson a lot. That's Bud's training partner. So I'm gonna do a deep dive into that fight. Cause I'm like the main fight is not where I'm gonna be trying to make my money at. I'm gonna be trying to make my money on the other fights. Then I'm gonna probably parlay Crawford with something, but I'm not going to do a crazy amount because I want to enjoy the fight. If I bet a lot, I'm not going to be able to enjoy the fight. I'm going I'm not going to be able to enjoy it, and I want to really soak in the moment and enjoy it. What y'all think about the Tank Davis versus Jake Paul? Y'all think Tank on his way out the door? Cash out fight? Ooh, you feel Brian Norman not ready for Devin? Really? Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a live about that fight. Yeah, we're gonna as that fight get closer, I'll do a breakdown on that as well. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a live about that one. I got Brian Norman in that fight. Devin Haney pre Ryan Garcia. I don't know, man. I like Brian Norman a lot too. The dog. What about Vargas versus Wash? Who you got? Big step up. I like Walsh. But these just my initial thoughts, like without me doing film study, because that's a big step up. That's a big step up on a big stage. Big step up on a big stage. I think that's another good scrap, though. I'm glad they made that fight. Tank versus Jakey. Clown show. A circus. Yeah, bro. So I feel two ways about that fight, man. Nah, little Mikey. Floyd didn't start. He fought exhibitions when he was done. Like at Take age, Floyd was scrapping, bro. Floyd was scrapping. You had Pretty Boy Floyd and you had Money Mayweather. You had two different Floyds. But Floyd was. People look at the stuff Floyd did when he retired, like what Tank doing, bro. Is so I look at it like this, man, because I'm like, okay, let me focus on the fights we are getting. Because who knows, maybe he need the money. Or maybe like Tank said last year that he was like thinking about retiring. So maybe he already knew like he was ready to step away from the game. So this could be a potential cash out. Could see him fight Manny Pacquiao after this. He might be done. And if he is done, it's like, cool. It's better for you to retire than boxing retire you. But I'll tell you this. I think Jake Paul's gonna beat Tank because he's massive. And I don't think Jake Paul would take this fight if he was not going to beat him. Even if bro, I don't even know how this is gonna look. I have no idea how this is gonna look. And what's crazy is this is probably going to do more numbers than Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, which I don't know how that's possible. But I think it will. I think it will. Tank wins by decision. He can't stop it. Jake's just too big. And then if Tank does win, does Tank just retire? Does he just ride off into the sunset after that? because he clearly don't want to fight Lamont Roach again. Lamont Roach fight anyway. I don't know how you don't call that a knockdown. But again, I try not to take this stuff that these fighters do personally. They human, so it's like, all right, cool. Tank fighting Jake Paul. We gonna focus on the good fights we got right in front of us. Everybody knows that Tank is a rehydration king. That's how he kills every fighter he fights. Things about money, not legacy. Can I hate it? But I was just saying, yeah, like Tank fighting for money, not legacy for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge difference between Tank and Floyd. They not the same. Floyd fought for legacy. He was Pretty Boy Floyd before he was Money Mayweather. Yeah, Tank might be done. He might be on his way out the door fighting Jake Paul. I hope he done. I hope he done, because if not, we gonna see the sport retire him. And Shakur been calling Tank out for how long now? We can say Tank ducked that smoke. Tank ducked that Shakur smoke. That's for sure. Tank versus Jake won't be a sanctioned fight due to weight difference. It will be an exhibition so they will play in laughs. Yeah, bro. And it's gonna be on Netflix, so it's like you don't even have to buy the fight. And I wonder how much they getting paid for that fight. Bro, that might be the most viewed fight of all time ever. What's number one now? Floyd and who? I know it's Floyd and somebody. Is it Floyd and Connor? Because I don't think Floyd and Manny was number one. Is Floyd and Connor number one? Bro, Tank can't lose to Jake Paul, but I think he's going to lose to him. But that's a bad look. It's Connor, little Mikey. That's a bad look for boxing. I mean, just the fact that that fight is being made. And let me say this, like, I don't like the fight is whatever, but what Jake Paul is doing for boxing, because I watch his MVP card, I know people that fight on that MVP promotions card. So he is helping the sport, because on his fight cards, he's giving fighters an opportunity, especially women. He's giving them an opportunity to fight for the world to see them, and he's giving people performance bonuses. You know, his blueprint is very similar to what the UFC does. Like, they do videos showing the fighters behind the scenes. So he is helping to grow the sport. And he does train. He's taking the sport serious. Now, can he help it if he's the cash cow? Like, because there were other guys talking about, like, I want to fight Jake Paul to end this clown show or whatever. And these guys were at Jake Paul's weight class. So it's like, I mean, if they were willing to fight him, like, all right, well, let Tank fight him. Because I don't think anybody would say no to Jake Paul payday. Canelo was about to sign to fight Jake Paul until Turkey came to him with that deal. Like, they had a contract. Canelo was great to fight Jake Paul. I just think, bro, it's too much money. And I think everybody has a price. I think everybody has a price. Oh, so Floyd versus Manny was most viewed, so that was more than Connor. Okay. Most streamed was Jake versus Tyson. Yep, and so Jake Paul great to beat that again, bro. Most streamed is now great to beat Jake versus Tank. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Wait till they do a documentary on Jake Paul. That's gonna be. Moon man. So I thought Manny did well against Barrios. I didn't like the fight because I felt like Barrios, the way he was fighting, didn't make sense to me. He didn't start turning it up till later in the fight, and then the fact that they called it a draw. I mean, that card was $80. I feel like the PBC just played in my face with that fight. So now Manny's ranked, and we have to deal with Manny staying or sticking around, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And Barrios, like, they need to make him fight somebody to get the belt away from him. Like 147 is somebody can come, like, I don't know who's gonna reign king at that weight class, but we need somebody to get that belt from Barrios because that was ridiculous. You don't think Jay can beat Clarissa Shields? Hey, Clarissa Shields a dog, bro. Clarissa Shields a dog. Breezy, what's up? What's up, bro? Hey, hit that like button. Hit the like button if you're in the chat. Yeah, Jason, I agree. Because Mario, like, when he started connecting in the last like 2 or 3 rounds of the fight, I'm like, where has this been the whole fight? Early on, he was throwing 1, 2 shots. I'm like, why are you not hitting him? It just seemed like very phony to me. Now I'm like, I think Manny Pacquiao got the win, to be honest. And when they ruled it a draw, I'm like, oh, so y'all really just playing in the fans' face. But that's the last PBC card that I cover because I'm not spending $80 on another PBC card. I'm good. I'm glad we got Benavidez fighting on the Turkey card later this year against Anthony Yard. PBC, I can't, bro. $80 is crazy for Manny Pacquiao versus Barrios. But the undercard fights were good, but like $80, like, bro, come on. Didn't see Manny versus Barrios, but it recently got uploaded by PBC. And Tank Rose. They uploaded some. Man, that Tank Roach thing. I really want to see them run it back. I don't think much of Jake Paul boxing ability, but he sleeps Shields. He's a large man at the end of the day. Yeah, Jake Paul not losing to Clarissa Shields, bro. Yeah, Jake Paul a heavyweight, and he not like it's like, bro. It's a difference between men and women's boxing just from a strength standpoint, for sure. Yeah, bro. I'm glad that they getting away with pay-per-view, but like the cars on the zone, I purchased those because those are good. They're not 80 and they're not $80 on the zone. And you get good fights, especially like those cars that be in England, they be scrapping. Woo! Yeah, that Benavidez versus Yard card. That might be the best fight card that we've seen in a very, very long time. Like an extremely long time. Let me get off of here soon, y'all. Got to be up at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Got a 5 a.m. client. Yeah, I'm glad people joined the live. I did this on the Humbug just to see, people join in and talk about the fight, because sometimes I get like crazy comments about the Canelo Crawford. Yeah, the Canelo Crawford fight. And I'm like, man, let's get on a live. Let's actually talk about the fight. Like the trolls that come on the comments and just say racial stuff. I'm like, all right, let's come in and talk about the actual fight. How do we see the fight going? It's going to be people on both sides, but we can be respectful and, agree to disagree or agree to agree. So let's get back on that Canelo and Bud fight. So do you all think the sparring helped Boots more or help Canelo more? Because Boots got a fight coming up in October, and then he's supposed to be fighting Virgil Ortiz next year. The or the Pinata Fiesta. That's a good question. Bud gonna have to come out with some shirts. Man, that break my heart. The fish fry, bro. I'm such a huge Spence fan, and I was watching that fight with everybody at the boxing gym. And I lost so much money, and people were just looking at me. It was like they almost felt sorry for me. So you got Bridge, you got Bud winning by TKO. What round? What round you think he ended in? Appreciate it, Jason. Thank you, bro. I feel like Canelo has more elite sparring than Crawford. Well, that's the thing. Like, we don't really know who's in camp with Crawford sparring. They're not showing. They're not gonna show that. Tank only getting 10 million according to Netflix executives. Bro, what? He only getting 10 million for what? The Jake Paul fight? Jose, where you see that at? Breezy, how you think Bud get his TKO against Canelo? Boost versus Canelo sparring definitely benefits Boost more. I agree 100%, Jason. He can learn more from Canelo than what Canelo. I agree 100%. I think that really helps him for that fight coming up with Virgil Ortiz. And they're supposed to be fighting Q1 the next year. So, I mean, until that fight gets done, I'm going to cross my fingers, but I really hope that fight happens because that one is going to be a banger. Outside of Tank versus Jake Paul, boxing's in a great place right now. We got some great fights. Tyson got 20 million and Jake got 30 million. Is public information. Yeah, but what where are you seeing that Tank's only getting 10 million? I want. Wait, bro, I gotta read that again, Breezy. I won 50 bands with a bonus on Bud on July 29th. The bonus band from me predicting the round, including everything that happened in the fight. I had Bud stop Pinello like Spence against the ropes in 11. You won 50 bands on that, Breezy? Hold on. I'm ready to write your prediction down right now. I'm not gonna be betting the amount to win 50,000, but you got what? You got I'm right, I'm legit. So you got Bud. I might lay a little bit on that. Bro, you won 50 racks? How much did you have to bet to win it? What was the odds on that? But by 11th round. And if I bet it, I'm gonna post it. I'm not saying for sure I'm gonna bet it, but I mean it's not gonna be a crazy amount. It might be a small amount, depending on the betting I do while I'm out there, because I'm gonna be out in Vegas. So 50 bands. Yeah, you gotta break this fight down for me. Break it down for the channel. If Canelo wants to win, he needs Floyd in his corner. And we know he won't have that because we know Floyd and Bud are boys. Okay, I can sound a little bit longer. Had to just check on my son. Yeah, we need. All right, y'all. So Breezy won 50 bands on Bud stopping Spence when he bet the round. And he predicting that Bud stops Canelo in the 11th round. The beating will be worse. So I see Bud twice then. Really? Whoo, bro, you think Bud gonna drop Canelo twice and then TKO him? This is crazy. I like this though. See, this why I want to have a chat. Cause a guy I trained last week, he was telling me, and I was shocked to hear he was like, he thinks Bud is gonna stop Canelo. I was like, what? I hadn't heard anybody say that. And he's very knowledgeable about boxing, very knowledgeable. So when he said, I'm like, I looked at him, I'm like, man, he's gonna stop Canelo? Really? Whoo, bro. If he stop him, hit the like button if you're in the chat. Bro, if he stops Canelo, like so if Bud stops Canelo, does that make him the GOAT? Is he the GOAT at that point? And I just dropped my members link. Also, if anybody want to become a member and support the channel. What do you think about the The moment, is it going to be too big for Bud? He's never been in this type of fight, of this magnitude, in this type of fight. Any little thing can take you off your game. That's a good point too, Moon Man. As far as is the moment gonna be too big? Yeah, we've seen Canelo at this stage many times, but I don't think the moment will be too big for Bud. I think he is gonna be more than prepared for the moment. I think Bud is different, man. I don't know how they explain it. I think he's just legit one of a kind. I think Bud is special, generational fighter, bro. Generational fighter. I don't think the moment will be too big, but it's definitely the biggest moment that he's been in for sure. But for Canelo, it's another day, another fight for him. He's been in plenty of big moments. Terence Crawford is a master of hitting you with shots and angles you don't see coming. Yeah. Most of his opponent's punches he's seen. Yeah. So Breezy, when Bud says that he sees something in Canelo, like he's been saying over like the past 2 years, you think he really sees something? Makes him a go to this era, not all time. So Jason Williams, if he stops Canelo, where does he rank all time? Is he top 5 all time? Okay, Breezy just said it. If he stops Canelo, he's top 5 all time for sure. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Bro, I'm putting him GOAT status, but I might be getting ahead of myself. Because stopping Canelo would be crazy. Going up to 68, no rehydration clause in Vegas as an underdog. I agree. Bud loves the moment. Yeah, I think he ready to like soak this in. Oh yeah, if he stopped Canelo, he gotta be ESPN Athlete of the Year. It won't even matter what ESPN does. If he stopped Canelo, they can run it back if he stop him. Get another check. Get another check. Yeah, that Spence ring walk give you chills. What happens if Terence Crawford gets knocked out cold like Manny Pacquiao versus Marquez? What would people say, or vice versa? I mean, I think if Bud gets knocked out cold, like people just gonna say he was overrated, say he was not pound for pound. You know how people talk, man. If he get knocked out cold, like the internet gonna have a field day with that. They gonna meme it and all that. But like I said earlier, regardless, whoever wins or loses, like I give both guys an equal amount of credit. Like I don't look at them any different because I'm glad that they're doing this fight because they're really testing, they're really trying to be great. So when the guy loses this fight and people criticize him, that's why guys don't want to fight. That's why guys look to protect their O. Yeah, if he starts both Canelo and EJ, let's see, Breezy. He definitely does see something in Nello. Many things, even I see things. Tim Bradley said he recently had a talk with Bud, and Terence Crawford told him, "There's no way he beats me," as if he already visualized everything. Hey, bro, I'll be tuned in to Tim Bradley. I used to be mad at Tim Bradley when he was talking about how Bud was going to be Spence. I'm like, man, Tim Bradley, hating. But Tim Bradley, he been in there with Bud and sparring. So if anybody know, Bradley knows. I used to hate when Tim Bradley did that. I was like, bro, he hating. He a Spence hater. Then they fought. I'm like, okay. He wasn't hating. So you think they've been watching Nello for years, huh? Just scoping him out. Bruh. Hey, Breezy, now you really got me you really got me thinking. Cause you the second person in the past week that told me they think Bud gonna stop Canelo. And um I gotta look at the odds. Let me see what the odds are for if they got them up yet. I'm in Florida, so my betting is through the Hard Rock app. Let's see. Let's go to the Hard Rock app. Hey Breezy, when you won the 50 bands on the Bud and Spence fight, how much did you have to bet? What were the odds for that, if you remember? Yeah, I think I did see Spence say he was. Well, of course he was going for Bud, but I didn't hear him like break down the fight. All right, let's see. Round props. Who will win this fight and in what round? So Terence Crawford, round 11, is plus 4,000. Put $20 on that, you win $820. Put 50 on it, you win 2,050. Yeah, bruh. Breeze, I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I can bet that. I'm gonna just stick with the total rounds, man, because I don't think Bud gonna knock him out. I really don't. I hope he does. Yeah, Bud do got a whole lot of coaches. I just finished watching his latest vlog. Yeah, Bud got a squad. Bud got a squad for sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, them odds was close. And bro, I'm thinking like I came up, I'm like, I can't believe these odds is close. I'm like, Spence too big for Bud. He ready to walk Bud down. I never been so quiet during the fight. I was just like, it made me feel like I didn't know nothing about boxing. I've only seen Canelo hurt twice, and I don't think Terrence Crawford is going to do that at one. I've seen Bud hurt by smaller fighters. Fight is an issue, man. Yeah, I seen Bud hurt versus, I believe it was Lean Machine, David Avenesian. Is that the fight where his glove hit the canvas? And then I think I don't know if he was hurt in this fight, but him and Jose Benavidez was banging. And at 35, they Gamboa hurt Bud at 35 when Gamboa was actually Gamboa before he turned into I don't know what. The fact that Canelo is a boxer that is scared to fight guys and he also wears Speedos and shows it on film so everyone is a bad combination for me. Go Crawford. Hey, Adam, you going to get the Canelo fans mad, bro. Be careful. You going to get the Canelo fans mad. Hey, you say he wears Speedos and show it on film. To everyone, that's a bad combination. Bud has been hurt. Yeah, yeah, Gamboa. Yep. So Gamboa and Mean Machine. So Mean Machine was who he fought, who glove touched the canvas. And I think Amir Khan, who fought both of them, didn't Amir Khan recently say that he had Bud winning, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, yeah, Bud stopped him after that. And that was at like 135. So I think we can all agree like Bud can't get caught. Yeah, he walked right through Spence. Big Worm from Friday. Faison Love. That's what you talking about. Amir picked Bud. Okay, Amir Khan. And I think Amir Khan is the only person that fought both Bud and Canelo. So I hold a lot of weight to what he says. Oh, there we go. We got one. Viso Bud going to beat Canelo. Ha ha ha! What a joke. So what's your prediction of the fight? How do you see the fight going? Or is that your analysis? Just what a joke. See, that's why I'm glad we got the live. Let's see who actually knows boxing or we just got trolls. Canelo was hurt. Yeah, Moon Man. That's what it was. So it was Miguel Cotto. I couldn't remember if it was his brother or cousin. And he was hurt by Triple G in round 10, a second fight. All right, I'm gonna have to run that fight back. But yeah, I remember Miguel Cotto brother hurt him early in his career. He buzzed him. Buzzed him. Bud ain't beating no Canelo. So V, so that's your analysis. That's your breakdown of the fight. Just Bud not beating no Canelo. Good analysis. Good talk. Canelo by KO. Okay, now we getting somewhere. All right, Canelo by KO. Respect, respect. So we got a couple people going Canelo, a couple people going Bud. Yeah, Jason Williams. You see, I'm trying to get some elaboration, but it's like I gave up. I don't think I'm gonna get it, bro. Khan said he thinks he could box Canelo to a decision, seeing as he was boxing his head off before the KO. He also believes Bud could stop him because he was a big welterweight. Oh, so Khan said he can see Bud stopping Canelo. Ooh, ooh. I put a lot of weight in Amir Khan saying that. Again, he fought both of them. I put a lot of weight on that. Yeah, see, this is why we do the live. So when somebody come in saying like they laughing at the title or whatever, just tell us your prediction. We talking boxing now. And then if you can't talk boxing, then I understand. Regardless of the outcome, do you think Terrence should go back to 154? I really like to see him again against Virgil Ortiz. I think that would be a great battle or boost. No, I don't think Terrence is going to go back down, especially because he'll be 38 at the end of next month. And when fighters go up, it's never good for them to go down. And yeah, because he's going to make, I don't know how much money he's going to make for this fight, but I think this would be Bud's last fight. The only other fight that Bud would do after this, I think, would be a rematch with Canelo. Because to put his body through that to then go back down to 154, nah, bro. And Virgil and Boots great to fight. Like these younger guys great to start getting it in thanks to Turkey making these fights happen. Man, yeah, I can't see Canelo getting stopped either. That would be. And hit the like button for me if you're in the chat. If Canelo gets stopped, bro. Yeah, see, look at Roy Jones Jr. Like, yeah, bro, especially late in your career going up and down in weight. That's not like we haven't seen Jamel Charlo fight since he fought Canelo. And if he fights again, I'm going to be very interested to see how he looks at 154 if that's what he's going back down to. I'm going to be very interested to see that. Maybe 160. Who would he fight at 160 though if he went to 160? Like Bud, like fighting Canelo, like there's nowhere to go after that unless you rematch Canelo. Oh, Roy said Bud had 6 ways to win. Roy did a video about it. Yeah, Jason, exactly. Once you go up, do not come back down, bro. That never works. Never works. Hey, FX coach, we gonna get if Bud beat Canelo, we gonna just say he beat Boots and Canelo all in one since they posting sparring pictures. But I definitely don't think we'll get the Bud versus Boots fight. The thing is, like these younger guys, I should say, like Boots and Virgil, like when guys on their way out of boxing, I don't think that they're gonna fight these young, hungry guys just because it's not really anything to gain from that. And then you're not gonna get a payday like you're gonna get for Canelo. Like for Bud to fight anybody else other than Canelo after this, he would have to take a pay cut for his next fight. Think about that. Bud not going to take a pay cut at this point in his career. This is like the highest you can reach. Fundora versus Thurman, man, that's a good fight. That's a good fight, bro. I like Fundora, but I don't know. I just like Fundora just because Keith Thurman been out. He getting old. Keith Thurman, what, 36? He's his gym is out here in St. Pete, Florida. I'm gonna try to get some insight from some people out here that kind of know. I know, like, I had a couple people picking Thurman. I gotta rewatch his last fight, but I don't know, bro. I feel like Fundora is getting better, and like, bro, he's 6'6". Like, yeah, he can get caught. That's a tough one because Keith Thurman, he's very smart, got a high ring IQ. When is that fight? What's the date for that fight? But what about against Janabek? He won. Oh, Janabek going up to 68? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, bro, Moon Man, but like, what they gonna pay Bud to fight him? Again, it's like I don't see him taking a pay cut to fight Janabek. Brian Castano, who was his last fight against? Who was his last Brian Castano's last fight against? Yeah, but Brian Castano, he was very, very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. Because I seen Smith and Bud when I first watched. Yeah, Bud special. Breezy, I agree. But man, if he stopped Canelo, because Canelo's special too. Canelo is special also. Not Bud special, but Canelo is special. The one fight would be crazy. Floyd versus Tank. Man, Tank wouldn't want that smoke. But Floyd can't fight him now. Heck no. Yeah, heck no. Not at this age. Floyd, what, like 47, 48? Yeah, no, Tank too young. 10-25. Ooh. So we exactly 2 months away from that Fundora Thurman fight. Yeah, so I'll have that one to break down. That's a good one. Is that fight on PBC? If so, and I said I wasn't going to buy no more PBC fights, but if Fundora and Thurman on PBC, which is, yeah, it's got to be on PBC. I'll have to be buying that card. Was that his last fight, Jason? That Jamel Charlo fight? Didn't Charlo stop Brian Castano? Or am I tripping? I think Boots sparring Nello means little because they're two different switch hitters. Bud is unpredictable and can hit you between punches, whereas Boots hasn't shown that shit. I completely agree. Like, Boots looking to just come forward, punish you, walk you down. He does not have the ring IQ that Bud does. And like Breezy stated, he's not hitting you in between shots and looking to counter. He's just looking to be aggressive and walk you down. So I think the sparring benefits Boots more than it does Canelo. I think it benefits Boots more for assuming he wins his fight in October against Lima. I think this is going to help him kind of get ready for Virgil Ortiz, which that's a 50-50 fight right there. Virgil Ortiz and Boots. Okay, yeah. So Charlo did stop Brian Castano. Yeah, so it was crazy. Like, everybody saw that. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, I'm glad we talking about this. Like, everybody saw Boots posting that. I'm like, just last week, people was talking about Boots being a duck. And now all of a sudden he sprung with Canelo on this, like, oh, Bud should be worried. Like, for what? Like, for what? Like, Boots a good fighter, but it's like, this is Terence Crawford we talking about. Like, come on, y'all. Yeah, I didn't understand that. Canelo always says when you get in there with me, it's completely different than what you think. That's kind of true. Most fighters don't engage as we think they're going to engage besides the ones who know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be different once they in there. I agree. But man, I think this shows how big that fight is. The fact that you got people on both sides of the fence. That's what we want. That's what boxing needs. Yeah, Mikey. Yeah, them in between shots because his timing is perfect. For the time, Boots is the second best switch hitter in boxing, and Smith is better, and something is better than nothing. Yeah, Brizzy, I agree. Like from like a style standpoint, like a style, but my thing is like, did Boots continue to switch, or did he stay in one style? Because we know when Terrence Crawford figures out what's working, whether it be out of orthodox or southpaw, he's going to stay in that stance. He's not going to continue to switch back and forth. He's going to stay with what's working. And I think he's primarily going to be southpaw for this fight, but we'll see. I think he's going to be more southpaw. What stance you all think Bud will fight out of? Because like the Matrimon fight, he was southpaw a lot, but that was to like negate that jab of Matrimon. So I don't know. Yeah, Canelo not getting no sparring with Floyd, not at this point in his career. Yeah. Terrence Crawford is not only the way better switch hitter, but has way more experience, IQ, and toolbox. Yes, exactly. I think Terrence Crawford got the highest IQ in boxing right now. Him or Usyk, number one in my opinion right now. Who you got it now in Breezy? Thurman Fedor. And we got a card coming up September 5th next weekend. I think that was in England. This week kind of like a quiet week for boxing. But next weekend, September grade to be crazy. All right, y'all. Hit that like button for me. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. About 4 more minutes. I'm going to just post a link. Anybody that want to join, become a member, support the channel. Become a member. Again, I'll be at the Terrence Crawford versus Canelo fight. So I will be sharing some exclusive footage. Depending on who's there, I'll share stuff to that members only section. Yeah, hey, Bridget, he ain't want to get hit in between them shots. He gotta be selective. Gotta be selective before you just go in there switching. Yeah, 168 is that's another thing. Like, what stance is Bud gonna fight out of? I think Bud definitely has more ways to win this fight than Canelo for sure. Yeah, bro. I feel like they just made that fight. I had Thurman in first, but I don't know. Wasn't expecting Fedor to do Zoo like that. Get alone, make him quit. Can't count either man out. Yeah, bro. That's a good scrap. That's a good scrap. So Moon Man, this is my first time. So the only other time I've live stream was when there was fights going on. So I told people in advance, but I can start. I'm gonna try to start making this a thing throughout the week. Like we're gonna start doing Mondays for sure. Mondays around this same time. I'm gonna put it in my posted section on the channel. Mondays between like 8:30, 9 p.m. Probably let's do 8:30. I think that's what I did today. And then I'm gonna figure out a schedule. That's like this time that 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm in Florida, so I'm on Eastern time. Does that time work for people for a live stream if we start doing this throughout the week? So we're gonna do Mondays for sure. And then when there's fights on the weekend, Friday or Saturday, I'll let you all know in advance what card I'm gonna be covering. But we lock in Mondays for sure. I'm gonna do another day this week. Maybe I'll probably try to do Friday. Probably try to do Friday, but I'll put it in the posted section for sure, so you all know. So dang, that would time just be flying. So they made that fight a month ago. Yeah, that's a good fight. Man, PBC need to drop their prices. Yeah, I like Cigar Talk, FX coaching. Yeah, I like his stuff. I like how he talked to the fighters and interview fighters. That's I really like that the most when the fighters actually talk because you hear, you hear their side of things. That's why I try not to criticize any fighters because you never know what these guys are going through. Like people forget they're athletes, they're competing, but they're people too. So you never know if they got stuff going on in their personal lives and stuff. So I try to be, aware of that. So that's why I like Cigar Talk because he actually has the fighters coming on talking. Eric Williams. Crawford is more seasoned than Boots. He was like Boots years ago, but he is much better now. He has mastered his skill. Yeah, I agree. Definitely more seasoned. Definitely higher ring IQ. So it's like, and then it was like, what was that work like? Did Boots take something out of Canelo? Because everybody say Boots is a monster in sparring in the gym. Hard sparring is good, but you don't want to do too much hard sparring because that can definitely impact you for a fight. Cigar Talk is super dope. Yeah, yeah. Cigar Talk. I like his content a lot. I just was I think I was watching him. I don't know if it was earlier today or yesterday. I gotta see. I try to keep up with his updates because again, I like how he talks to the fighters. Never sobers reloaded. All right, so I am going to hop off, but never sobers reloaded. How does Crawford win this fight? We've been on live about an hour, 35 minutes, but I'm gonna just give you my quick opinion real quick. So I think Crawford wins this fight, but I think it's going to start off, both guys start off slow. I think around 3, around 4, we're gonna see a pickup in the pace. And I think Crawford's counter punching, his angles, his speed is going to be better than Canelo's. I do think that they are going to get in some exchanges. I think Canelo, yeah, he's going to hit Crawford. And I think Crawford is going to feel their power and realize, okay, I have to be a lot more methodical about my approach. But I think Crawford's going to invest in the body early in the fight. And when Canelo looks to throw that hook, his hook is wide. I think Crawford will see that coming. He'll look to counter that. And then I think later in the fight, we see Canelo slow down. And then Crawford just has higher output later in the fight. That's kind of how I see it going. Never sobers reloaded. How do you see it? How do you see it going? Who you got winning the fight? Yeah, the anyway MJ fight, bro. That's the next day after the Crawford Canelo fight. That's the 14th at like 4 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, because it's in Japan, bro. That's so we got Crawford Canelo, then we got NUA MJ a couple hours later, not even 24 hours later. Man, I got I got NUA in that, but bro, he got to be careful because he dropped those hands because he's so aggressive and he get caught, and MJ can crack. Even though MJ's last fight, he won, but he didn't really impress me. It wasn't like he dominated like he should have. Like anyway, going there to dominate, he going in there to put on a show. He not going in there to go the distance. He's coming in there to scrap. I really like fighters out of Japan. Those like my favorite my favorite fight cards to watch. The ones in Japan because they scrapping the entire card. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I didn't know he let the chat ask fighters questions. Yeah, that's fire. Canelo is going to knock out Crawford Amir Khan style. You think? I think somebody else. I don't know if somebody else said that was their prediction, but somebody else said that could happen. I mean, hey, we'll see. We know it's definitely possible. Definitely respect your opinion on that, bro. Definitely respect your opinion. I think if Canelo does knock him out, like don't think people should be like, oh, Crawford was too small. He was moving up. Like, no, give Canelo his credit. He fighting a pound for pound, probably second or third best pound for pound fighter in the world behind Usyk and maybe Inoue. So he deserves credit, especially if he knocked Crawford out. Anyway, MJ can go to the distance. Man, if they go the distance, them scorecards gonna be interesting because MJ can move. He can box. He can move. Said y'all thought Spencer's bad. I'm going Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct Blue in this fight. This will be the first time he will show his full two bag in a fight, which is scary. Yeah, hey, Breezy, he gonna need to have the whole two bag, bro. I want to see everything. Maybe MJ can win. Yeah, and those odds pretty steep for that fight too. So if you think MJ can pull off the win against Anyway, that's definitely worth sprinkling some bread on. I like how Nello is bringing in boots. This lets me know we may see a Nello we haven't seen in years. Yeah, Breezy, I agree. I think maybe the best Nello since we're in for a treat. Yeah, I agree. Because that's showing me that Canelo willing to come out. He gonna be moving. Like he gonna be looking to cut the ring down. He gonna be light on his feet. Canelo's gonna be fast. Like this showing me that Canelo, like, all right, let's go. We got this smaller guy coming to challenge me for all my belts. Don't forget, these for all the belts at 168, for all the straps. So Canelo, like, man, you're not going to come up to my territory and beat me. That's what I'm saying. Like, regardless of who wins, you got to give both guys credit. Don't take credit away from anybody. And like, yeah, I'm going for Bud, but don't forget, I do not. I realize how good Canelo is, and I realize he's an all-time great, all-time great. Yeah, this for undisputed. This for undisputed. So it's a lot on the line. Yeah, FX coaching September 13th through 14th going to be a movie. But all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all joining. Please like the video. If you want to join the channel to become a member, I just posted the link in the chat. Please join that to support the channel. I'll be going live again later this week. I'll put it in the posted section when I go live, but we're for sure going to do every Monday going forward around 8:30 p.m. Eastern. But I'll let you all know in advance next time. Hey, I appreciate you all hopping in last minute. All right, catch y'all later. Peace.